Hello and welcome to a Squadron 42 and AI update video looking at the monthly report from June 2021 and the new Squadron 42 info we have, as well as general AI updates that also affect Star Citizen. While we still don't have any release dates for that single player campaign yet, Squadron 42, we can see that feature work is going into 2022 for Squadron, and there's an expectation, at least by me, that we'll see some Squadron 42 stuff from CitizenCon this year and some more interesting information towards the end of the year. But with that in mind, let's take a look at the summary of the latest report. The AI feature team further developed combat, including the ability for enemy fighters to finish off their targets with execution animations. So this is FPS-based stuff. This involved adapting the existing stealth takedown system for use by AI and making it more data-driven so that it supports different types of takedowns. For spaceships, AI features adapted the fighter combat behavior to better utilize missiles. This involves selecting the right type and number of missiles to fire so that NPCs don't exhaust all of their high damage missiles on smaller targets. In group combat, this ensures that missiles are spread over a wide range of targets and are rationed for use throughout the fight. Well, not necessarily a wide range, I suppose, but appropriate amount. This leads to interesting behaviours where fighters will soften up targets with a barrage of missiles before engaging in a dogfight, firing occasional missiles at opportune moments. They also worked on the pilot security behaviour to fix issues that occurred when a target has surrendered or been arrested, which will obviously be quite important in 3.14. As part of the larger security behaviours, work continued on the weapons training behaviour, where NPCs can improve their combat abilities by using a firing range. Firstly, a weapon has to be retrieved from the armourer. That itself is a task to complete. For the firing range, the team had to adapt the existing targeting and firing systems to support non-agent targets. This technology will be used in the future to support the targeting of destructibles in combat. For example, an AI might want to take out a computer bank to complete a mission objective. The groundwork for targeting specific parts of the body, things like headshots or taking out specific limbs, and non-human bodied agents, e.g. animals, was completed too. They further developed untrained weapon combat behaviours and prepared for an upcoming mocap session for untrained cover behaviours, responding to dead bodies, hostile reactions in usables, carrying and surrendering. AI behaviours received work. This included polishing the tourist and tour guides and wildlines. Shopkeepers gained more usables, and these are sort of like focused towards food and drink shops as well. And they want to be able to serve players differently if they choose to eat in or take away as well. The security guard was fully designed and prototyped. This behaviour offers great gameplay opportunities in an emergent or systemic way, as it fulfills scenarios of NPCs acting as law enforcers, information providers, gatekeepers, and greeters. There is also work on background life for the medical room when players respawn, including the systemic janitor and NPCs using bathroom cubicles and sleeping in the bunk beds. Specifically for Squadron 42 though, and the CDO Com they've been identifying tactile interaction opportunities and working on usables. These usables, working with scripted AI paths, will help create mini scenarios where the AI appears to look for hostages to dry freeze. AI Tech completed important nav mesh and subsumption work on NPCs, EVA transitioning from 0G into chips and moving around was completed. They began developing 0G collision avoidance for NPCs, which allows them to further avoid other characters, AI or players, and smaller objects when floating around. Another feature worked on was planetary navigation. This aims to generate a nav mesh on planets that can be used by NPCs and animals around outposts. This uses physics information, so each time planetary tiles are physicalized, navigation meshes will be generated too. This is incredibly important to having NPCs moving around and defending outposts, landing zones, bases, and, well, more. It's going to add a huge amount of missions to the game, and lots more interest in actual gameplay, and yeah, it's cool to having animals in game too. The animation team have been working on Vandal combat, hurt locomotion, firing range behaviours, Squadron 42 specific level usables, movement between nav meshes, and medical gameplay, including healing and moving players to beds. They also tested a rig for the Xi'an alien race for both body and face, and supported several story scenes. So it does appear that we're going to be seeing the Xi'an properly in Squadron 42, at least on comms, talking to us. So Hopefully we'll actually see them walking around and maybe do some FPS type stuff with them. The character art team progressed with R&D for the Screaming Galsons. The next step is tightening up and defining rules for other armor types and starting on bespoke Screaming Galsons characters. The team wrapped up their polish on Trejo's head and passed it to Tech Animation to update the rig. Her hair is currently in skinning, while her undersuit and helmet are in modelling. So Agent Trejo, she is an advocacy agent, which you may have seen as part of the Squadron 42 Vertical Slice. And the Screaming Galsons are one of the factions that you will encounter during Squadron 42. They also worked on some characters for the Asidio Comore and uniforms for Chapter 4. The environment team progressed with spacescaping and the actual approach to Asidio Comore. The station's interior received lighting tweaks to portray the desired mood. Progress was made on creating interesting and believable terrain that incorporates canyons. Development of Archon Station's internal tram system, sewers, social hub, back alleys, and workers areas continued, while work began for exterior FPS spaces in Chapter 13. So Archon Station, that is the big mining station that we know about in Squadron 42, and again, you would have seen that in the Vertical Slice. Chapter 15 has progressed with art working alongside design to build out the environments for key moments throughout the level. Progress was made on the Bengals Medbay and Armory, both of which are close to completion. Just so people know as well, Squadron 42 Episode 1 is constructed into 28 chapters, which are all receiving work and being built out at the moment. The cinematics team created a tool to reference and play each landing gear compression spring in the vehicle setup independently. That means they can retract or move the ship's hind landing skids before the fronts, which, yeah, I can't even visualize that properly in my head for some reason. Cinematics also worked on specific chapter scenes and sequences, including a key Vandal encounter and one involving the player hiding among some fog and ship parts. Progress was made on the Bengal, including animating the bridge seats and attached screens. The gameplay features team looked at the basics of the Persistent Universe's reputation system and created a single-player version for use in Squadron 42. The live version is a service separate from the game, writing out the reputation values to a database, whereas the single-player version runs as part of the game itself. Strong reputations in memory that can be stored to the save game system. The gameplay story team focused on the second walk and talk for Chapter 5. This involved restructuring animations and getting them to work with AI and creating interrupt, idle, encouragement, and rejoin animations. They also set up a holographic character, created accurate holstering animations, and updated several scenes to include the new medical gun. The narrative team focused on an expanded environmental storytelling pass for the Shubin Interstellar Archon Station, which included additional posters and advertisers to help set the desired mood. They also had several reviews of one chapter discussing how our player's personal playstyle could impact the narrative and then making sure the content would react appropriately. Boom! That's it for Squadron 42 and AI updates for this monthly report. But what do you think? When do you think we're going to see Squadron 42? Do you think it will be released in 2022? Do you think CIG are going to take as long as they want to release it? Which, well, that's probably true. But do you think we could see it towards the end of the year 2022? Do you think we'll see some updates, more meaty updates for CitizenCon or towards the end of 2021? Maybe that could start to be like a traditional release campaign, like, oh, hype, it's going to be released next year, or maybe it's going to be a long time before it's released. Whatever you think, though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Oh, what's this? I just found all your search history online. You filthy boy, buying spaceships and going on Ship Hub. Zin, show a picture of a sexy ship or something. You should have used NordVPN. It's a VPN, obviously, and it has my seal of approval because I shill for them. Use the links below to get a discount and help protect your data, identity, privacy, and to help with online accessibility. I'm shilling for spaceships today. Do you like building spaceships? Of course you do. JR Fabrication make officially licensed Star Citizen products and Airfix-like model kits. Do you want an Arrow fighter? Maybe a Freelancer? Some Cyclone little buggies? Dragonflies? Oh my, you can buy them and build them, or just add them to your pile of shame. You want dioramas of ships and vehicles? They've got them too, and they continue to add more to their range. Follow the link down below to jrfabrication.co.uk/board to see all of the wonderful products they have on offer, and use the code Board Invictus to also get some exclusive Fleet Week recruitment propaganda. A3 art prints with each of your orders. Ooh. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and June is no different. We are giving away a Mercury Star Runner to one lucky viewer that comments on one of my videos made during June on the YouTubes. Just get involved in the comment section, ask a question, or tell me what you think about the video or the subject we were discussing. Thank you so much to my channel members who have pressed the join button below my videos, and my Patreons as well. Going the extra mile really, really helps the channel. Say thanks for helping the channel, Zin.
Thanks for helping the channel, Zin.
Consider becoming a channel member or Patreon as well, and maybe you'll get some poorly photoshopped naughty spaceship shots. Ooh, saucy. Thanks for watching and all your support.